Jingle bell rock. You're not going to dance with me, Scully? Jeez. I guess he's just going to be a party pooper for Christmas. Well, hello, my spooky friends. Yeah, Scully, he's just not in the mood. Whatever. But what I am in the mood for is some ghost stories, some premonitions, lucid dreams, and I've got some updates and a picture you're going to love. So don't go anywhere. I hope you are all having a wonderful Christmas, enjoying this season, and getting together with family and friends. And I hope you're not too stressed out. But we're going to get right into it because we have got some great stories. I have a few interesting paranormal experiences from Carolyn. If you remember, Carolyn sent me a story. Oh, it's been a few months now. But she has some other things she wants to share. Now, she says the first one is kind of like a premonition. I worked for a commercial real estate company in New Jersey about 20 years ago. We had a location in Florida as well, and an in house agent who worked from the Florida office came to our New Jersey office. He was super nice, cordial, a gentleman, and very likable. He said hello to everyone and shook their hand, and when he shook mine, I had this very strange, sickening feeling come over me, like nausea and a side of red flags. I couldn't understand why I was feeling this way, and when he walked away, something made me blurt out to my boss, "Be careful, this man is shady." Look, sometimes you just know. To this day, I can't even tell you what made me say that. I felt an energy block with him the whole time I worked there. A feeling of keep it short, do not engage for too long kind of feeling. He tried making small talk with me occasionally, but I was definitely not interested and didn't want to get to know him. Fast forward a year and I moved into onto another job closer to home, and 6 months after that I found out that the shady agent was fired and in trouble for stealing money from the company. I was totally right about him. Natural instinct, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could call it that, but I'm going to tell you, I get those feelings too, and I always listen because here's the thing. What do I tell y'all? Your gut never lies. When you get this weird, shady thing, feeling, I try not to make first like judgments on people. So I try to just keep things even, not expecting or looking for anything one way or another. But sometimes my gut just like sets off bombs when I first meet somebody. And if I get the impression that they're shady or there's something wrong, even if I get to know them and I think, ah, no, I'm crazy, like they're really nice, they're really good people. And always 100% of the time, somewhere down the road, even after I have talked myself out of it, they do something that shows me my gut was right from the very get-go. And, it's happened so many times that now I know it may take years, but somewhere down the line, they're going to show their true face. So it's good that you knew from the beginning. That is an important gift to have. This next story is more like a past life dream. One night, I must have been about 18 or 19, I had a nightmare that was extremely clear and vivid. It took place in old times, and I don't know where I was, but I was outside of my home, and in this time period, I was surrounded by crazy people who were yelling at me and trying to set me on fire. I woke up instantly from the dream and checked my legs because I actually felt the stinging hot pain and thought my legs were really on fire. I also had a deep knowing out of nowhere that in my past life I was accused of being a witch. I would love to see a past life therapist for this someday. I can still see every detail of that dream in my head to this day, and I'm in my late 40s. Well, first of all, you probably saw the cattail. Yeah, Sachi is here on my lap. But yeah, like I am not really sure about lucid dreams, but that is terrifying. have something so real. Is it a past life? I don't know. I don't know, but that is definitely terrifying, and especially the part with your legs feeling like they were really on fire. That would freak me out. I don't think I would be able to go to sleep very well after that. Now, she goes on to say this, and y'all know this story is about an experience with the Ouija board. Y'all know how I feel about the Ouija boards. I was in my early teens when this happened. I had friends who were sisters invite me over to hang out. When I got there, they pulled out a Ouija board to play with. I didn't even know what it was back then, so I just went along. They asked a bunch of silly girl questions about boys, and the planchette moved a few times with answers. I assumed one of them was moving it, but didn't care or believe it enough to call them out on it. I guess I was a skeptic because I honestly didn't know what it was or ever heard of it. Several nights later, in my sleep, I felt a very heavy and paralyzing presence on top of me, weighing me down on the bed, and all I kept saying in my dream was, "Get the off of me! Get off of me now!" It woke me up, and I was totally conscious when I felt the heaviness of this presence leaving me. It was so weird and very scary. I guess something attached to me. I don't know what it was, but I never agreed to play with the Ouija board with my friends ever again and never told them why. I think I would have told them or asked them, maybe just asked them if they had had any weird experiences when they were sleeping or anything that they felt may have come from that. Look, y'all, I'm just going to be honest. Those things are evil. They're evil. Stay away from the Ouija board. You don't want to open portals in your house and have these things coming in. Look, and here's the thing, like, if you've been watching this channel, I've said it for a long time, but you don't know what those spirits are that come through. Okay. You have something talking to you, and it might say it's your great grandmother or somebody that lived in the house, and you don't know. These ghosts, these demons, they do not carry ID cards. It's not like you can verify who you're talking to. So, look, just don't do it. Unless you want a big, ugly thing sitting on your chest when you're trying to sleep. Okay. And to the last story is, this is how I know God is real. I'm the oldest of 5 girls and always wished for a brother. I love all of my sisters, but yearned for a brother, and I never got to have one. My husband comes from a family of girls and has no brothers. My sister got married and they all had baby girls. His sisters got married and they all had baby girls. When we found out we were expecting, I prayed every single night for a boy. I knew my chances were 50-50, but I literally begged God every night to please let it be a boy. At that time, I had to wait for my 20-week ultrasound to know the baby's gender. Well, that day came. I was having my ultrasound, and the technician asked if we wanted to know what we were having, and we said, "Of course." And then she said, "It's a boy." I was absolutely stunned, and then I cried because I was so happy. It was in that moment that I knew without a doubt my prayers were 100% answered. Well, I will say this, I had 2 boys and then a girl. Boys are difficult, but they're way easier than girls. I only thought I wanted a girl. I mean, I wouldn't take nothing for my baby. I prayed for her for a long time, but yeah, you got the best end of the stick on that one. Okay, now I want to show you a picture that was sent in. If you'll remember a month or so ago, I can't remember how, it's not been that long. We were listening to a story from Joanne, who had made a trip to Harper's Ferry, and they had some very ghostly stuff going on in their hotel. And so she said they were going to be going back this time and staying in the same room. And she was going to kind of see if something happened again. Now, she said this trip was uneventful, except she did take a picture of where they were staying, and I'm going to share that with you. Okay, I'm not sure how good you can see it on here. I can see it, and but of course, I've got it blown up. But if you look in that center window, the one on top, not this long one in the bottom. I don't know. I actually, Joanne, I can see several things, but I definitely see a man, and it looks like, are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Because I see like a little white dot up there. And then if you could see this photo like I do, um, you can see a man. It distinctly looks like a man's face, and maybe he's wearing like a cape or something. Um, and I don't know, he's standing in the window and his arm is coming down to right there. And I'm not sure if this is his other arm or if that's a belt, but it definitely looks to me like someone is staring out the window. Now, also over here, I know you probably can't see it, but it's a little sus looking. It looks like there could be a man with a beard in that one. This photo right here, I'm not really sure what I see. It kind of looks like there could be something in there. So I'm not sure, Joanne, which one you're talking about. This one at the top looks very sus to me. Honestly, I can see things in all windows, but that's just me. And I've taken a lot of photos of houses and where you can't see anything, no matter how much you try to imagine it, you can't see anything. But that's what's really interesting about this one is literally it could be in all of them. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what you see. If you want me to, maybe if you're interested, I'll put it on the community page so that you can maybe blow it up on your own and see if you can see what I'm talking about. Very spooky. Now, another thing I wanted to share with you, and it's kind of a follow up. Remember, a couple of episodes ago, we talked about the spring heeled jack because I didn't know what it was, and someone had said they'd seen it. And so I said I would love to hear that story, and we learned a little bit about it. Well, this is her story. Now, this is from Night Owl. The Spring Hill Jack event happened on April 7th, 2005. There had been a strong thunderstorm and my grandmother's electricity had gone off, but the other side of the neighborhood still had power, giving just enough light to see outside. My grandmother was sitting in a living room chair by the window. My grandfather was sitting in the dining room facing the living room, and my mother was on the couch. Suddenly, a lamp on the kitchen wall came on with a yellow light. My mother and grandmother saw it. Remember, there was no electricity. Then my grandmother looked out of her window, and there was a man in dark clothing and a black ball cap on his head. She said he was bouncing nonstop and in their yard. He leapt over their gate and kept bouncing down the road towards the local cemetery. That's all there was to it, but it was creepy. There was never an explanation for these events. Also, my grandfather never saw the light and he was closest to it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so, with the light coming on when there's no electricity and only one lamp, it's like if the whole house had lit up, you'd think maybe the electricity was coming on for a second, but no, just one lamp. I'm out. I am out. Well, I hope you enjoyed these stories. If you have a spooky photo or you have a creepy ghost story, paranormal event, please email me at avelincottage@gmail. And for those of you whose stories I haven't got to yet, I've still got them. Just hold on, I'm getting there. Sometimes I like to do certain things at certain times, and some I like to research into so I know a little bit more about it. But I assure you, I try to share as much as possible. I love your stories, and if they're longer stories, that's great. All right, we're going to go. I may put on some Christmas music anyway, in spite of the fact that Scully is not feeling, all jolly. He's probably missing Miss Scullett, and some of you have asked. I imagine that somewhere around Christmas or New Year's she'll make an appearance. It's kind of a touchy subject after their last fiasco. You know what I mean. All right, I hope you have a great evening. Merry Christmas from Sachi. I will see you soon. Whatever you do, just stay spooky. Bye-bye.